I'm sorry, Filipinos are this color. Like it's
Yeah.
more. I think it's more common for us to be tan than pale. So I think it's pretty wild being called Black Beauty, and it's also just kind of. It's like whenever I get told that, I'm like, it doesn't sound like a compliment, but at the same time, it is a compliment. They're saying like you're pretty even though you're dark.
Yeah,
It's like a backhanded compliment.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna say it in Cantonese, but I used to get called like "hak guai moi," which is essentially like, oh, you're like a black girl. And also some relatives would say something like, "Oh, 你去過非洲曬太陽嚟啊," which means, "Oh, did you go to Africa to get a tan?" Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I think that Asian countries, particularly Hong Kong and Filipinos, there's like a culture of being like straightforward, you know? They won't beat around the bush. They're not going to be nice to your face. They will say what they want to say in the most like mean way possible. So I feel like that's what people have experienced. Like that's what you guys have experienced in your childhood. These kind of phrases that have become like popular.
She was like, "You've lost a lot of weight." I'm like, oh, have I? And you know, like me, because of that insecurity, I was feeling good. I'm like, yes, I've lost so much weight. Like, good, I feel good. And she's like, but it's not like you don't look healthy. Like, you need to like eat. You know, like that can really like damage you and stuff. And it did. I think a month later, I started to have like complications, like my period. Like I don't know how to. Yeah. So.
I also gained some weight when I came to university because, you know, you're away from home, you're eating Domino's because it's nearby and it's on sale. You know, they have those leaflets that they drop by through your door saying one large pizza for 20 pounds. I'm like, okay, I'm there.
I remember specifically when I was, I think around 15, 16, I was working at my parents' takeaway, and then my dad kind of just turned around and he was like, "Oh, when are you going to stop doing ballet? Your thighs are getting really big."
Oh.
I was like, excuse me? I was actually
Excuse me.
so... Asian parents and family, and like obviously grandmothers, they always want you to eat. They're like, "Oh, you've gained weight, but during dinner you may not be eating as much." So they're like, "Oh, why aren't you eating? Are you trying to lose weight? Eat more." And then they like give you more food. So what do you want from us?
I would say that all of us are very beautiful. Like objectively, we are beautiful, but we have gone through insecurities because of family members or people that we've been surrounded by. And that's really damaging to our mental health and our body self-image.
I should love my body because you know what? Our bodies are amazing. Female bodies are incredible because we go through a period every month. We have to push out a child. We are so strong. And I
have menopause.
Forget this. Exactly. We forget about this because people say you have to be skinny, you have to look like this, but we forget our bodies are beautiful, amazing things that have like carried us through so much like physical pain, emotional pain, like, and we're still here, and we need to do more to appreciate our own bodies and appreciate our like girlfriends' bodies. Like, you know, it's so important.
I love everything that you've just said. I've loved everything that you said.
Thanks.
Yeah, I was gonna make the exact same points that you said, Nicole. I think in Korea, there's this kind of culture where before you graduate high school, your parents will pay for your eyelid surgery or your nose surgery, you know, so that when you've graduated or you've like become an adult at 18, you have a new face essentially. Like you have the double eyelids, you have a higher nose bridge and maybe a shaved jaw, and I think that a lot of Chinese and Hong Kong people, they would also travel to Korea, to that area, Gangnam, where all of the plastic surgeries are.
Then you're growing like as a young kid and seeing these beautiful women, and thinking, oh, why am I not as pretty as they are? Like, why haven't I like got as good boobs, and why are my boobs like uneven and that kind of thing? But not realizing that these women that we're seeing could be photoshopped or have had plastic surgery but are denying it. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've kind of grown up again with this mindset that like this is what the perfect body is, because there is a perfect body that surgeons are making. And they're not addressing the fact that actually there's very many different kinds of body types, there's very many different faces, and you're all beautiful. And I think that's where the problem with, again, social media, but also media in general lies, is the denial of that, and the denial of addressing that there's more than one beauty. Well, I just generally don't believe there should be a beauty standard.
Let's end this topic on a more positive note. I would like you girls to share with me your favorite features of yourself, favorite physical features of yourself, instead of pinpointing the things that you're insecure about.
I just love big smiles. I think it can really brighten a room, and there's always been this one thing that struck in my head, and the reason why I try to smile all the time, even at strangers, even if it's weird, it's just like your one smile can give such a massive impact on another person's day. Someone might have been having a really, really bad day, and like a stranger, and you walk past them, you smile over at them, and it could make them feel a little bit more like, okay, today's